Listen carefully because most men don't really understand what's happening when a woman flirts with them. They assume she's cold, that she's playing games, and that she's losing interest. This assumption makes them anxious, causing them to overthink, pursue her more aggressively, or leave feeling inadequate. What if I told you that some behaviors you might perceive as rejection are actually signs of deep emotional connection? In fact, there's one specific behavior that most men, 97% of them, interpret as she's moved on. But in reality, it's often a strong indicator that she's falling in love. I'll explain it to you in detail soon. But first, you need to understand why you're completely misunderstanding. Because once you understand this, everything will change. You'll stop doubting yourself. You'll stop seeking validation. You'll stop reacting emotionally to conflicting signals. And instead, you'll begin to realize that you've already made an impact, even if it hasn't been noticed, by winning her over emotionally. This isn't just a passing fancy or a romantic fantasy. It's the art of reading the right signals. Signals most men miss because they interpret women's behavior through a purely masculine emotional lens. By the end of this video, you'll realize that what the woman is doing is actually an expression that sounds like a firm rejection, but is really saying, "I'm afraid of how much I love you." So, let's get down to business. The truth that most dating advice doesn't explain. The confusion no one prepares you for. Here's what I went through. It takes hours, sometimes days, to answer. She doesn't always respond when you ask her out. When you're together, she acts erratically, very erratically, and your thoughts fill in the blanks. She's not very interested in me. You're wasting your time. Maybe I should move on to something else. But this is where things get interesting. This part might seem illogical at first. A woman who isn't really interested in you won't keep you guessing. She won't keep you guessing. She won't worry you. She won't control your mind. She'll simply disappear. There's no explanation, no emotional outburst, no conflicting signals, because indifference is pure. But when a woman worries about you, wonders where you are at night, something entirely different is going on. That's the crucial difference most men don't understand. Here's the truth most men never learn. Men and women experience attraction at different times of fear. When a man cares, he makes advances, follows, and supports. But when a woman cares deeply, her first instinct is often to protect herself, not to approach. Why? Because emotional investment creates a feeling of vulnerability. She too feels vulnerable. The more you become infatuated with her, the more you stand to lose. The more you reveal your sincerity, the more you have the power to hurt her. So instead of rushing headlong into your embrace, her nervous system might sometimes react in the opposite way. She creates distance, slows things down, and tests your resolve, not to deceive you, but to confirm your honesty. And this is where most men fall short. They misinterpret defensiveness as rejection. They interpret emotional barriers as disinterest, and they run away when she starts building them. How can I tell the difference? That's the question every man asks. How can I tell if she's serious or just wasting my time? That's what I'm going to tell you now. One of these signs is so paradoxical you might think I'm exaggerating, but bear with me, because once you spot the pattern, you won't see it again. The real telltale sign is that she's deeply involved. Before we delve any deeper, hit the like button if this resonates with you, because what you're about to hear will turn most of your usual dating advice on its head. And pay attention to the fourth sign. It might seem strange at first, but it's based on behavioral psychology. The first sign is that she remembers everything you say, not just the important things, but the small, unforgettable details like childhood memories, your favorite food, or a coworker you once complained about. When a woman is emotionally engaged, she doesn't just listen, she reciprocates your feelings. She's forming a mental image of you. When she brings up things you said weeks ago, it's not a coincidence. The focus is on emotional connection. And no, she doesn't do this with every man, only with those she likes. The second sign is that she's testing you. She'll pretend to be busy when she suspects you're not interested. She shows indifference toward talking to other women and makes subtle advances. This is a sign most men find unsettling. They wonder, if I like her, why is she making things difficult? The truth is, she's not testing your interest. She's testing your emotional stability. Can you stay calm under pressure? Are you confident without being insecure? Are you visible or just seeking validation? She wants to know, because an uninterested woman won't test you. She'll disappear. And here's the aspect most men overlook. The intensity of her tests often reveals the depth of her feelings. The third sign is that her friends know about you, even if she's keeping it a secret. If her friends know your name, your job, and your history, they've entered your inner world. Women don't talk about men they don't have. If her friends are talking about you, analyzing your personality, or commenting on you, then you're already important to her. This might put her off. But if her friends suddenly seem cold, distant, or defensive toward you, it could actually be a good sign. It's usually a sign that she's told you she likes you and that you're protecting her heart. The fourth sign is that she becomes emotional when she's with you. This is where things start to get complicated. She complains about the smallest things. She gets hurt if you don't get her message across quickly. Tension rises when you mention other women. Most men are shocked by this, but here's the psychological truth. Emotionality means attention, and indifference means silence. Emotions like anger, jealousy, and frustration are all important, but there's one emotional reaction that men misunderstand more than any other, and it's a strong sign that she likes you. I'll explain it in a moment, but first, you need to understand the next sign. Sign 5, she opens up and then closes down again. One night, she confides something deeply personal to you. The next day, she's gone. She draws you into her world, then withdraws. This isn't deception. It's not fear. She's found something real, and now she's retreating to protect herself. This is a sign of emotional turmoil, of vulnerability, and the more passionate she becomes, the more she reveals than she's willing to. This fear only surfaces when she's interested. Sixth, she's following your life. She notices your posts, even when you haven't posted them. She asks subtle questions about the places you've been or who you've been with. Her focus is on you, even when she pretends not to be. This can be frightening. Don't worry if she suddenly stops seeing your stories or liking your posts. Sometimes it means she's trying to suppress her feelings because she's more deeply involved than she'd like. Seventh, she'll calm down after he gets close to her. This is the crucial moment. This is when most men give up. You've had a wonderful date, had a deep conversation, felt a real connection, and maybe even experienced emotional or physical intimacy. Then suddenly, she leaves. Every man thinks he's apologized. He's lost interest. I was wrong. Honestly, when a woman cools down after sex, it's usually because the experience felt so real. She's not running away from you. She's running away because she's afraid you'll hurt her. So she'll pull back to see if her feelings fade, to see if you'll stand your ground or give in. This is the dilemma most men face. They either pursue her relentlessly or disappear completely. Both options only confirm her fears. She, however, remains. Even with the attraction and repulsion, even with the conflicting signals, she doesn't vanish. She still responds. She still appears. She remains on your radar. A woman who becomes overly attached will disappear. A loyal woman will find reasons to stay in the relationship. Even in complex situations, this cycle of retreat and surrender is a pattern of falling when one tries to avoid falling. What do you do when you notice these signs? Now comes the most important part, because understanding the signs is useless if you don't act the right way. Here's the truth that contradicts your instincts. First, be steadfast. Don't mirror her emotional ups and downs. Be consistent and strong. Maintain the same energy, calmness, and confidence regardless of her mood swings. Consistency doesn't mean being with her all the time, but rather emotional stability. Secondly, give her space without disappearing completely. Space isn't silence. It's the absence of pressure. Let things flow naturally. Trust is built over time, not by force. Third, don't take it too personally. She's processing her feelings. She's not rejecting you. If you don't punish her for being attracted to you, you'll be different from all the men who came before you. That's when trust is built. Fourth, keep building your life. Your goal shouldn't be to change her behavior. What attracts her most is that you make her feel good, whether you're with her or not. And here's the paradox. The less you initiate agreement, the more she'll be willing to give. Ultimately, if